I'm not a lawyer, but let me tell you what happened on day 13 of Diddy's federal criminal trial. So Mia was back on the stand, and again, Mia is a former employee of Diddy's, and Mia is not her real name, but they are using that to protect her identity, or supposed to be protecting her identity. So the day starts off with the prosecutor asking Mia about her trip with Cassie to South Africa back in 2015. If you recall, this trip has already been testified about by a number of people, and it's when Cassie went to South Africa to shoot a movie, and while she was there, she saw a video of Diddy and Gina, and that's how she learned that Diddy was cheating on her. So on the stand, Mia testifies that she also went out there, and she paid her own way, and it's because Diddy told her to go. She also says that while out there, when Cassie found out about the cheating, she was heartbroken. At first, Cassie was taking Diddy's calls, but eventually she decided to stop answering, and Mia says that that led to her waking up to 48 missed calls and messages from Diddy the next morning. Mia says when she finally did speak to Diddy, he was threatening her job, threatening to kill her, as well as threatening to go to HR. She says he ordered her to come back to the U.S. immediately, and he threatened to tell Cassie about the encounters that he and Mia had, which according to Mia, those encounters were unwanted and were actually assault, but she says Diddy was planning to tell Cassie that they were consensual. Mia reads one of the messages from Diddy that said, quote, "If you don't call me now, F it all, and I'ma tell everything, and don't ever speak to me again. You have 2 minutes. F her. Call my house now or never speak to me again. F ABC and all lawyers. Let's go to war."
War?
Mia says the ABC comment was regarding a TV show deal that she and Diddy had reached with ABC for a comedy that she wrote based on her life as his assistant. And again, according to her, all of this was because he was actually trying to reach Cassie and couldn't. Mia says at one point in South Africa, she spoke to Diddy on the phone. He was irate, forgetting what he was talking about, slurring his words, and saying irrational things. In addition to Diddy reaching out to her, Mia also says that his chief of staff, Christina Coram, was contacting her. KK told Mia, "I need to talk to her. Not sure what to do. He needs you to call him now or you don't have a job." At another point during this back and forth, Mia texts Diddy that Cassie was busy and she begged him to give her more time. She also begged him to be nice on the phone, but then Diddy texts her saying, "Call me now," repeatedly. On the stand, Mia testified that since she paid for her own flight out to South Africa and changing the flight was going to be expensive, and because Diddy was telling her to leave South Africa or else she wouldn't have a job, she decided to email him and KK saying, "I'm really sorry, Puff. You know I love you. Smiley face. I paid for my own flight. It will cost to change it. I'm sorry to ask for the money. I'm sorry. I want to make sure you are good. At the end of the day, regardless, I love you." While on the stand, Mia testified that she did want to stay with Cassie, who she called Cece, but she also didn't want to make Diddy mad. So she was tiptoeing in that email because that's what she had to do to survive. When Mia finally did leave South Africa, she returned to LA and she said she had much less access to Diddy, which made doing her job much harder. She said she needed his approval for everything, but he basically stopped responding to her. From there, prosecutors pivot to asking Mia about the multiple times she was suspended from her job, starting with an incident in March of 2011 when she says Diddy asked her to pick out some workout clothes for him and place them around his room. When he came to the room, he began cursing her out and going on a rant about the lack of options and how he hated certain things. Mia says she tried to show him some of the other options, but she says he just kept getting more upset. While this was happening, she received an email from a bad boy manager asking her who in the company was handling the Kids' Choice Awards tickets, to which she responded, "I'd totally help,
but he's currently firing me at the moment."
Mia says although Diddy did threaten to fire her for that incident, she was ultimately suspended for 5 days without pay for being, quote, insubordinate. Another incident Mia described happened a few months before this workout clothes incident, in which Mia says she tried to, quote, run away from her job working with Diddy. It was New Year's Eve going into the 2011 New Year, and Diddy had chartered a yacht for her, himself, Kim Porter, their kids, and some others. According to Mia, while on the boat, Diddy told her to count some money in the safe, but she was apparently taking too long, so he told her, quote,
"You better learn to walk on water like Jesus, and then get the F out of here."
Mia says Kim tried to console her, but when Mia saw Diddy coming toward her, she went and hid on the 3rd floor of the boat until she was able to get a crew member to take her to shore. But then she says once she got to shore, Diddy said he wanted her back on the boat, and because her passport was also on the boat, she, quote, obeyed Puff's orders. But then, according to Mia, once she got back to the boat, Diddy told her that she had to go to Vegas with him or else she would be fired.
He let her threaten somebody's job, didn't he? Allegedly.
From there, the questions transition to what happened before Mia left the company. And she says in the fall of 2016, she had a meeting with the then chief operating officer of Combs Enterprises, who, quote, out of the blue told her that Diddy wanted to end Revolt Films, the company she was a part of. Mia says that she was confused by this because Diddy had recently told her Revolt Films was the only of his companies that made money that year, and at the time she was working on a Bad Boy documentary. Mia said she continued to work on the documentary until spring of 2017, and when it was complete, Diddy and other employees would try to reach out to her, but she said she was too heartbroken to answer. As she was leaving the company, she retained an employee attorney to help her negotiate a severance and bonuses. But KK, Diddy's chief of staff, told Mia that when Diddy found out about this, he felt like Mia was stabbing him in the back. Out of this, Mia and her attorneys proposed a settlement of $10 million, but after 9 months of negotiations, they ended up settling with $400,000. $200,000 for Mia and $200,000 for her attorneys. And then Mia describes what seems to be a pattern amongst the former employees of Diddy, which is that she says after she left the company, she reached out to Diddy when Kim Porter passed, as well as when Andre Harrell passed, and she acknowledged telling him that she loved him in those messages. In wrapping up direct examination, Mia testified that after Cassie filed her civil suit against Diddy in November of 2023, Diddy's former bodyguard D-Rock reached out to her. She responded, D-Rock, with all caps and 6 exclamation points. And when prosecutors asked her why all the exclamation points, she says, "'Cause I love exclamation points," and D-Rock. When Mia spoke to D-Rock, she says that he brought up the lawsuit saying, quote, "It's really crazy what's going on because, you know, like Puff and Cass, they would just fight like a normal couple," which Mia says made her radar go off because she knew that D-Rock had seen the violence between Diddy and Cassie and knew it was not normal. On the stand, Mia testified that D-Rock told her Diddy missed her and then implied that he wanted her to make a public statement on Diddy's behalf. And when she hung up with D-Rock, she says the next call she received was from Diddy, but seeing that call was so triggering to her that she threw her phone behind the couch and then ran outside. She says after that, D-Rock continued to contact her on Diddy's behalf, saying that Diddy just wanted to talk, but Mia wasn't responding. So in February of 2024, D-Rock texted her, "I can't believe you're not hitting me back." And then he asked for her address to send her something, which she believed was going to be money. But Mia declined that offer and says that she never spoke to D-Rock again after that. Mia says that Diddy also began texting her after the lawsuit. In one text, he said, quote, "Hey, it's Puff. Please let me know when you get 10 minutes to talk. Love." And then in another text, he wrote, "Hey, I don't want to be blowing up your phone. Just needed to talk to you for 10 minutes. Just need my memory jogged on some things. You were my right hand for years. So I just need to speak to you to remember who was even around me. And it would be good to hear your voice. But if you don't want to, all good. Just let me know. Love. Hope you're well." Mia says she never responded to those messages because she didn't want anything to do with Diddy, and he was the person she was traumatized by. And she says she believed the kindness in his messages was all a front. And with that, direct examination ends, and then Brian Steele gets up for cross, and ciao!